Dragon Wings is an improvised story. If you're a new listener, make sure to go back to episode 1.
Dragon Wing!
Lay down your weapons. There's no need for anyone else to die. This battle is over.
The 200 or 300 or so amongst them are Mistress Millifanda, a couple of the survivors of the regulars of Alice's Rest. You see a few...
Which ones have survived?
Big Kev bought it.
What?
Oh,
Big Kev bought it.
Kev!
Big Kev was one of your favourite. You remember he taught you the trick to balancing the coin on the lemon?
Yeah.
You remember your first pickled egg came from Big Kev?
And he taught him how to do the game, right?
Which game?
Just the
Do it for podcast.
It's an audio medium. It's an audio medium.
Dav is
He taught you
mixing up
Fortnite.
drumming and like the shell game.
like find the queen.
It's the shell game, and then I also thought that the what's the slot machine in pubs? What's
The
fruit
fruities.
machine.
The fruities.
The fruity probably doesn't exist in Faerun.
No, there's just a one-armed bandit, which is just a
Literally
one-armed
one
bandit.
bandit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ow.
Pasty Susan, his
No.
wife, is crying, beating his chest.
Oh no, she's still with us though.
Also, Hooter has lost a leg.
It'll be alright.
Little sick
his
is
second
fine.
leg.
He'll fucking love that.
Little sick is okay. You up?
Has anyone been like maimed?
Yeah, fucking Hooter
Apart
lost a
from
leg.
like other than Hooter.
You can see survivors. You can see kind of men and women kind of crying, calling out for parents and things like that. However, amongst the dead, you see Snugger Glachat.
Shit.
He's dead. But he has just like 9 or 10 combatants lying around him, and it looks like he absolutely went down fighting. You see 3 surviving members of Les Orques Luçons with their heads bowed, just ignoring the other sort of battle around them. You can see Blatterby and Gaul, they're both dead.
Oh God.
Some of the automatons are still kind of whirring, malfunctioning nearby, but otherwise pretty ineffective. And then obviously you see the bodies of Sister Shine Blessed, but also a Brother Guidance.
Well,
He didn't
good
make it
riddance.
either.
Good
Yeah.
riddance.
Yeah, shame.
But they
So
are dead.
has the battle? Did Jacob's like rally and cry cease the battle?
Yeah, can I make
What's
like
happening,
a, can I
what's
make like
happening
a
around Jenny?
can I use one of my channel divinities to make a persuasion check?
Go for it.
One of my channel divinities is called Emissary of Peace. The idea being that like I can sort of placate people.
The respect from the other people at the table, by the way. I love how Han and Tom looked at each other like, oh, peace.
Yeah.
I had not considered.
That wasn't the build I was going for.
Yeah, what sort of damage does that do?
Yeah.
Divine? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right.
And as he does this,
Fuck.
oh shit.
Well, it's natural 20, but I also have a modifier of 10.
Ah!
So
Mega piece!
What does this sound like, Jacob?
I think it's just what I shouted, just everyone to lay down their weapons, no one else needs to die here anymore, but somehow my voice is like much, much louder than it should be,
Yep.
somehow sort of
Compelling.
divinely amplified, and is, very, compelling. It lands in people's ears.
Even I'm like,
Alright.
yeah, maybe we should.
And as he does, as he says this, I do the cantrip of light just behind his head, as
Classic.
a holy glow emanates and lights up the cavern,
Yeah.
just to make people feel inspired and to make them listen to him.
The Fire Knives are all but dead, but one of the surviving Fire Knives drops to his knees and screams out, "Is he an angel?"
And he's probably like weeping.
Oh, he's fully weeping, yeah.
Crying, yeah.
Everybody, absolutely everybody has stopped what they're doing, including even Jenny Bleth, who sort of looks upon you with this new sort of reverence.
Enough, everyone. Lay down your weapons. This ends now. And I look around to see what happens.
Motes of, you think they're dust, but then you realise that they're emanating a light, begin to fall from the cavern ceiling, which is still just unfathomably high up in the air. You can't see it. But some of them begin to coalesce and form into the sign of Tyr, And you feel this sort of warmth and glow, in the back of your mind, and you feel that in this moment your god is with you. And you see others again look up at the sign in reverence and respect. And you see also some of the converted zealots of Amanator, the Tyr followers. They're like nodding and looking to each other in a kind of like, see, like to everybody else. And you see a few other people sort of looking pointedly at the signs in a sort of like, I feel like I'm going to make one of these myself, surely kind of way when they're looking at their changed armor.
I just drop to one knee and bow my head and just, Tyr, bless me. I thank you so much for everything you've done for me.
Even with my fuck the god stance, this is pretty impressive.
Can you have some inspiration for this?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's fucking
Yes.
awesome.
Thanks for reminding me that it's a
So
mechanic.
fucking
I always
cool.
forget. Osgaren, meanwhile, at your feet is the body of Merrick.
Crying for a different reason.
And his hands are out, and you can still see the ritual on his palm there.
No, don't need to know.
All right.
Don't need to know.
You look across the battle. Mistress Millifandra is still alive, and she sees you. She alone understands this decision, and she just nods at you.
If I wasn't compelled to peace right now.
More in a nodding in a kind of like, I get you sort of way for not wanting to. But it's your call.
Cassius, seeing Mistress Millifandra, knowing her wisdom and knowing the powers that she has, like runs up to her and brings out the locket of Corin trapped inside and says, "Can you please release my daughter? This is all I've ever wanted. Do what you can."
She says, even with enough time, this is beyond my level of expertise. I have no notion of this. Who made it?
I don't know. I don't know.
Point to the smear.
Yeah.
I
gristle
don't
on the
know
floor.
who made the locket, but all I know is that wizard had it on his person. I remember my wife being killed in front of me, a green flash, and waking up, and that's it. I saw my daughter's face in this locket, and he was wearing it. I don't know whether he created it, but
Mistress
Tell
Millifandra
me.
consoles you. She puts a hand on your shoulder and she squeezes it once and she says, I'm sorry, this is beyond my expertise. I've never seen such craftsmanship.
And kind of filled with more of a peace than she would usually possess. Nothing is feeling quite conciliatory at this point, so she goes over to
Cassius is
Cassius
there
and
sobbing. Just be like, why?
taps him on the back with her tail. It's probably the largest display of emotion she's managed in about 14 years.
What is
so,
this I'm feeling?
Yeah.
What is this? This is
Just
weird.
Rubs his back with her tail.
Just so close, but so far. Like, he's never. This is even worse than not even having. If the most powerful mistress that he's ever come across in his lifetime can't fix this, then how is he ever gonna free his daughter? That's worse.
It's a big world, mate. We'll find someone. We'll find someone.
Jenny Bleth has been restrained at this point. She's had most of her sort of shining magical jewellery kind of stripped from her. Her hands are tied behind her back. She's being marched forwards to all of you. You're very much being looked upon as sort of like leaders. You're a common ground. Everybody knows these people. So they're marching her over. And as she moves past you, Osgaren, and also at the body of Meritanon, she looks at him and then she looks to you and she says, you are so much more than he ever was.
I turn my head. I say nothing.
All right, but she keeps getting marched forwards. You hear her as Lord and Lady Marshall climb out of the hole.
Firstly, I'm going to embrace Osgaren and just say, Ozzy, I'm so sorry. But I just read something which maybe I'm not very good at reading or knowing things, but it looked good. It looked good. Something about if we finish the rub, we can use it to break a wing and bring someone back.
And Osgaren is crying, like he's just sobbing silently on Jacob's shoulder. And he's just like, he says he's overwhelmed. And he says, we'll try.
We have the milk, right? We just need to find a baby.
Yeah, where's
Yeah, we've got
Hibbo?
the-
Ski!
Hibbu. And he looks up and Hibbu's just the top of the.
He is a Pokemon.
He just Hibbu at
Yeah,
the top of the cavern, and he says,
there was a
And-
small
yeah.
amount of the liquid. It's still in the flask.
I remember what he was trying to convey earlier. That Yakov Tinglehammer bought it, and I wander up to that lifeless body.
Yep.
And just give him the classic pat down.
All right, there are 35 nuggets.
Yeah!
Perfect.
Can you OD on nuggets?
Think how big your arm would be.
I think I-
35 nuggets.
What, 3,000...
Has cooking gone too far?
a 3 mile long nugget arm. Sorry.
What I'm more looking for is just any information that he has on him about the pluckers, the chicken consortium, any like parchment and info rather than supplies.
Just some more information, basically. You find a description, and you find this on a couple of bodies as you pat a few of the finalists down. It's a description of all of you, and that you're carrying a chicken. There is a charcoal sketch of Jacob. There is a sketch of Nothing as well. There are some not like an image, but there's like a word description of Cassius and of Osgarian. But that's what you find on him.
Okay.
And this is like a very standard document. It looks like it's been copied lots of times. It looks like it's been handed around. So that's what you find.
So I look to the body of your father, Oscar, and I look to you, and I think about what you always said, and I just sort of go, anyone got a baby?
And Mistress Millifanda clicks her fingers and says, "That's right. As we were passing through the village of Culinaria, there is a gnome, a woman. She was going to give birth. She went into labour as we left."
It's like, well, come on then, let's go.
I pick up Merrin's body.
Yeah.
I pick up Merrick's body and take it over to our wagon.
You'd be careful.
The wagon's
I'm
falling
being
down.
very, very.
Wagon's
Oh
falling
yeah,
down the
god
camp.
damn it. Okay, yeah, I just carry it then.
I love the silent acceptance that Osgarian's maybe not strong enough to pick up.
Lifting dead weights is definitely what Jacob's here
Yes.
for.
Yeah. So I get pluckers down off your back because that's probably too much, isn't
yeah,
it? And
sure. Yeah.
she can wander with us on the floor.
She can wobble along. Yeah.
Mistress Millifanda looks down and says, Vennefer Wingman. Poor thing. She probably doesn't have long.
What?
She.
What?
What do you mean?
Well, it's a curse. Everybody who obtains this curse, they die. I saw it in the village. And she refers to do you remember there's a big leaderboard of all the people?
Yeah.
Yes, she says, one who is not born as such will not last long in this form. A shame, I know of no cure.
Now we've got to make a fucking choice.
But you make your way back
Thomas
to the
passed
village.
out.
Yeah, Thomas passed out. But you make your way back to the village of Culinaria. Jenny Blethentoe, she is with you. She is frowning.
Wait, we're just going to leave that. We're just going to let that.
Just walk away.
Just leave that. The Pluckers is terminal. We're just going to leave that.
That's what
What
Millie
I'm
said.
thinking in my head is we're going to have a choice here, aren't we, over who we resurrect? But I'm certainly not willing to have that conversation right now. So I think we'll concentrate on the
We'll
baby.
keep that down the road.
And we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. It's certainly what I'm thinking.
As you
Okay.
travel, Nothing, you can see, you now know them to be Lord and Lady Marshall, and your eyes are just drawn to them. You're remembering the few but very kind of stark memories that you have of them,
What were the
which is
memories?
one of abandonment.
Yeah.
You remember disgust, you remember some laughter, and then you remember the very clear moments of handover when it was your father, who was the one who actually
That's why they
completed the
knew each
exchange
other. That's why they knew.
and handed you over to the wizard.
You only just working that out?
Yeah.
Oh, that's how they knew each other!
Oh, I thought way back when.
But you must have been. You were 4, 3 or 4,
Just about old
something like
enough to
that.
remember.
Yeah, you vaguely remember this splendor, this grand household, and then you remember indentured servitude to the wizard.
Nothing,
They've seen you. 100% don't recognize you.
yeah.
No recognition at all. You're a tiefling.
Nothing would, can use that to her advantage, shall we say. She's gonna park that one, but she will be coming back to it.
So, and you haven't told any of
No,
us.
and I'm
then,
actually
just
not
keep it.
going to tell anyone either.
But do I notice Nothing giving my parents
Yeah.
an eyeball?
Insight check.
Yeah, it's got to be inside, really, hasn't it?
So you see
I'd
her
say I'm
looking-
pretty
looking at the
inscrutable
shop.
though. It's many years of
Are you
practice.
Yeah, you're not.
Trying to
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
be
100%,
Okay, let's change
100%.
that to perception then, Jacob,
Okay.
and let's get a stealth check from you, Nothing.
It's 5.
5.
Oh, well, it's 9 without my modifier.
All right, you don't notice that, Jacob.
Okay.
15 dealing with.
But you make your way back to the village of Cullinan.
Actually, can I just retcon before we leave that cavern?
Yes.
Can I just turn to the people who are nominally followers of Tyr and the followers of Amanator and just say, look, if you're going to listen to me, I just want you to go forth and spread the good word of Tyr and do it kindly and evenly and thoughtfully, and only ever use, and I point with all their weapons, only ever use those as an absolute last resort.
Eleanor says to you, "That's right," and then she looks at the others. Make sure to cook
And I actually,
them
can I put my,
evenly.
like,
burn them in the flames evenly,
I put her
so that
hand
they are
over her
cooked
mouth.
all the way through.
I grab her by her shoulder and go, yeah, ignore her. She's absolutely fine. She's
It's a work in progress.
She's my personal assistant, and sometimes she just needs a little bit of, correction. Peacefully.
Some of the zealots are
Peacefully.
taking notes. At least one of them is some sort of budding artist and seems to be sketching your likeness into their notepad. You seem to be becoming something of a figure of import for these people.
And as we leave that cavern as well, I do, if possible,
Yeah.
can I do 400 mold earths and just cover all the dead bodies?
Yes. The rest of you see this great work of magic being undertaken by the warlock.
Just
Let it never be said.
You think you
If there's an opportunity to mold some earth, you will take it.
If there's for the idiots, I was going to say the C word, but that faced us, can I have a quick loot of their bodies?
Oh yeah, you pat them down. I mean, they're being dispatched and
Yeah.
looted, by everybody. You are taking some money from this
Lovely.
to be determined.
Who's got Jenny Beth's magical rings?
One of the
Good shout. What about X? What about the shit on X?
Mistress
Staff
Millifander,
ring,
they've
right?
stripped them. Yeah, Mistress Millifander's got them. Nobody knows how those things work.
Fine.
But some of the gems look exactly like the gem
Did
containing
X
your
have
daughter.
a wizard book on it?
Oh, nice. Yeah, spellbook.
Wizards have a spellbook.
Spellbook. Yeah.
Can I have that?
Yes.
Ooh.
Perfect.
If you think all it takes to be a powerful wizard is to read this book, you are wrong.
No.
Might come in handy though.
Oh yeah, it's a useful thing to have.
I bet
on
it'll
your
be
set, and you take it.
valuable as well.
Certainly, a wizard such as this. But yeah, you're making your way back, but really you've got free reign of this area. You can kind of do what you want to.
Yeah, I definitely want a little pat
Can I go
down.
and get some dragon scales?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Sweet.
Lit.
Give me them dragon scales.
The dragon
Hibu
scales.
flies down. And I turn to Jacob and I'm like, we've only got a little bit of milk left. Do you know where on a dragon we can top this up?
Cassius, you're
You're a learned man. I don't really.
I'm really.
This didn't come up in Baldur's Gate.
I'm really not. I look at the dragon. I go, maybe. And can I discern at all where its
Milk.
teats are?
Nature check, baby.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, boy. Teat check. It's -1, 9.
You see where the wound is, the killing blow.
Right.
That is absolutely the gland from which the milk was extracted. You can see kind of the dried remnants of the substance, but it looks drained.
It's out.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I point Cassius. I think it's been
Milk.
milked. Want a better word?
I call everyone over the big three, well, the big four, including myself.
Yep.
And I say, we've got the milk. Shall we?
Eleanor follows, by the way.
Eleanor, can you give us 5?
No! And she stays by Jacob.
No, Eleanor. It's absolutely. Would you mind just standing a couple of meters off? That way, better to tend to the flock.
She says, of course, and she takes a few steps back and she starts speaking to people whilst just looking pretty obviously at you over her shoulder.
Right. Okay.
And huddle in. And I'm just like, we got the milk. Shall we add it to the pouch now? Do we want to see what it does?
It's going to be a good thing because it was on the list.
Yeah. No time.
Yeah,
like,
go on,
no
then,
time
let's
like the
do it.
present.
So
Do it.
blind dip or
Yeah, whack it in.
It's on the
Okay.
list. Pour it in.
everyone hands out their holds up their pouches and I divvy up the
Let's keep one bit back. Just in
little
case.
remaining bit and the last droplets of the milk, put it in, tuck it away, but we add it to the spice pouches.
Yep.
And what does it do?
The spice mix begins to kind of clump together, a bit like wet sand.
Like Craggle.
Absolutely,
That
yeah.
crisp, yeah.
It changes its consistency completely, and it turns a deep maroon color. Once per day, enemies in sight must roll a wisdom save, contested against your intimidation, or they're frightened,
Oh, nice.
which you can use once per day, no matter how many wings you have.
Nice.
Once per day, enemies with save against
Intimidating.
Against your intimidation. Yeah, a wisdom save against your intimidation. Or be frightened.
Lovely.
Golly, scary.
Okay. And I take a wing, because obviously no one knows what it does at the moment, and just...
Yeah.
And
You're glowing.
glowing.
You light up.
It's all good.
Yeah. In the cavern, it's quite obvious that you're...
They convey like the power that it instilled upon. I guess it
Yeah.
goes into me.
Something is changing slightly with the use of this mix, because now with just one component to go, which is the first laughter of a newborn child, as you step, the rest of you think you hear this almost sort of like distant rumble, like thunder, and there's this kind of like palpable presence, this kind of like ripping through the air as you move. You kind of feel powerful, and others perceive you to emanate power as well.
Shit, son. I'm going to get in there. I have another nibbler one. You never know when someone's going to pitch up, do you?
You light up as well.
Lit.
But you make your way and you approach the village of Culinaria. A couple of gnomes greet you. They put another flower wreath around your necks.
Oh, of course it
Yay!
As
So
are
it's
the
your
other
band.
survivors. Oh, there's absolutely playing like a luau type.
Yes.
Steel guitar.
Still guitar, yeah.
Welcome to the village of Culinaria!
They say again.
Again. Yeah.
Again.
Hi, guys.
They know that you just left and they've seen
Yeah.
you before, but it's like, welcome to the village of Culinaria. It doesn't matter who you are.
Lads, we're looking for the lady that's pregnant, Seen her recently?
And
Very much
they nod and they point towards one of the houses.
Has she given birth to her child?
They say,
Oh yes, she's resting, but she's able to take visitors. It was very, very easy birth.
Brilliant. I nod at the guys and make off my way down the hill towards the house.
Thank you. You've been very helpful.
I turn back round to everyone and go, I hope they laugh a bit earlier in this place, because it takes human babies about 3 months.
I honestly swear to God, I thought that earlier. Like, doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That's fucking at least what you just milked a dragon, mate. It's like, at least you've got problems, isn't it? At least you've got problems.
Also, rock names, right? They're big. They're not humans.
Exactly. They
develop,
laugh.
They develop faster. They're
They do.
Smaller.
Yeah.
They develop faster,
Yeah.
right?
Perfect.
A field mouse laughs within seconds of being born. But they have consequentially shorter lives.
Yeah. It's
The
laugh that
brightest
does it.
lights.
Yeah. Fast.
I remember these are gnomes. Don't need any of this stupid human lore.
Yeah.
But you go in and you see the rather exhausted-looking but very happy gnomish woman that you just saw about the place earlier, with a doting, presumably, lover, partner next to her.
So you see sort of something quite business-like
Yeah.
come over nothing. Not necessarily seen anything like it before. And to be frank, it's quite weird. It's like when your slightly odd mate from school meets like your little brother or sister, and they're like, "Hello." It's nice to see, like when someone's just like really bad with kids, but they're trying their best.
Got it.
So nothing basically gives a wave to the mum, heads over to the crib, sort of rolls up her sleeves and just starts tickling the baby.
Oh.
And someone's like, open the pouch then, just starts tickling the little
Nice.
baby rock gnome, just being like,
And we're there, like, exposing the spice to this.
yeah, just,
And she says,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, nothing hasn't
Can
really.
I touch your baby?
Yeah,
Right.
nah. She doesn't want to ask, she doesn't really care.
Cassius-
She doesn't really see it as being that weird either. She's like, we're here to do a job, let's go, tickle the baby.
Cassius thinks back to when Corin was when Z, his wife, or Z, was pregnant with Corin, and she used to, whenever she used to eat strawberries, Corin used to kick massively, and that's what we thought that she liked. So whenever, and it turned out when Corin was born, she loved strawberries. It was one of her favourite dishes.
No wonder she's trapped in a crystal if you're feeding a fucking newborn baby strawberries. Appalling parenting.
You think it made her a bit of a...
Yeah. To be honest, she wanted to get in that crystal.
Mate, given the sugar. And
hello, Mr. Wizard!
What's wrong with this?
so Cassius goes up to the mother and says, when you were pregnant with your child, what made it kick the most? What was like the most... what made it happy when it was still within inside you?
She says,
Why, the sound of my husband's voice.
This woman must be like, what the fuck is this? These
What is
people covered in blood that I've never met before are tickling my baby.
Would you like to shower?
And where is your husband?
he's right there.
He's right?
He's next, yeah.
And so I turn to the husband and say, kind sir, would you mind speaking to your child and singing to it and trying to make it laugh?
I turn over my shoulder and go, tell them a joke if you want. Like, we just want it to laugh, then we'll be off.
Okay. The gnomish man says to all of you, but in earshot, obviously, of the baby,
You're making a decision right now, aren't you?
How did the non-binary rogue...
This is definitely 100% being cut.
No, I know it's been cut. I just want to say it.
How did the non-binary rogue kill its enemies?
Wait, we can all work this out.
Something about they, them.
They/them.
So good.
The baby starts giggling.
I think that is actually all right.
Yeah, I think that's
I
all right.
genuinely
How many
actually
rounds?
think that's
Okay.
all right. Yeah.
The baby starts laughing, and something happens. The sound of the baby reacts to your pouches, and they begin trembling, and then suddenly all of the wings from Plucker's pouch begin trembling.
Oh boy.
And
Double event.
yeah, double event.
Well, 4 events. We've got 4 wings.
Quad event.
And just so you know,
How convenient.
it's gained another effect. But Pluckers is sort of like being dragged. You can see the feathers on Pluckers sort of like standing up, you know, magnetized almost, being just kind of like pulled in different directions towards your pouches. Yeah, that's what happens.
Do we know the effect of the baby's laughter?
I'll tell you now, it adds 5 to all of your charisma-based checks.
Ooh.
Oh shit. That's big.
Nice.
That's what happens.
That's real big.
Yeah, you're already charismatic as fuck.
You wouldn't know it, but I'm fucking charismatic.
Mistress Millifander nearby intones as she reads from the journal that you discovered like 7 or 8 months ago in recording time, IRL.
And it says here that all she did... No, wait. And it says here that all she
There she
did
is.
was to add a feather with a little luck.
Feather with the little.
I go and pluck one of Plucker's feathers.
Yeah.
And
I grab your wrist because I'm like, if we fuck this up, we really fuck it up. We've
record
got to think.
scratch. You're wondering how I got here.
Yeah.
Feather with a bit of luck. Feather with a bit of luck.
And I say,
What's
I look
fucking
to
lucky
you.
about Pluckers? She's nearly died like 4 times.
She brought me back to life. She brought him back to life.
And I look
Come
to you
on.
and I say, there's... And what Jacob said to us was there's options. There's ascension, there's ultimate healing, and there's resurrection. If it's up to me, I would love to bring back my wife. I don't want to be a
what
god.
Merrick always used to say? He used to say, nut up or shut up. And I just dunked the feather into the mix.
Did you know that you can both support us and buy yourself some fabulous dice paraphernalia? Look no further as we've teamed up with the Dice Dungeon UK. My own wife has a set of their Flaming Hands dice, and she had this to say about them.
I like them.
Check out their wares at thedicedungeon.co.uk and get a tasty discount using the code DRAGONWINGS.
All of the wings, all of your spice pouches are ripped from your bodies and they suck together into one single wing that remains.
A wingularity.
It expands. A wingularity is exactly what this is. A wingularity forms, the wing expands and then contracts, and there's a like a crack of thunder, a peal of thunder, and suddenly a shockwave blasts outwards. The windows of the house shatter. The baby's killed. No, only joking. And then objects from all directions start being sucked towards the house. Through the broken windows, you see apples, bananas, onions. You see hunks of meat just flying through the air,
All
just being
organic.
sucked up by this wing. And it's just there, kind of wob, throbbing in the air as the wind like kind of picks up in the room, whips around you, whips your hair, whips your clothes. And it's just there floating in midair, and then it moves slowly out of the window.
No, fuck. I immediately scramble out.
Follow that wing.
And it's moving upwards, and it rests atop the cradle in the middle of the village of Culinaria, bathed in this golden light, just there hovering in the air. Still objects just being sucked into it from all directions.
And the wings
Foodstuffs.
still whipping around it. As
The wind is just whipping.
As in the wing
gnomes are
wheel.
cheering and they're clapping. As Mistress Millefander looks worried.
Yeah.
Lady Bleth looks furious, still restrained.
I look at Mistress Middefander and just say, do you think this is what's supposed to happen?
She shrugs and says,
I don't think anyone's ever gotten this far.
Right. I look at you, Osgarian, and say, I'm still holding Merrick's body and go, do we do this?
Come off the man, come off the hour.
Okay, and yeah, let's go put him down gently near where this is
Yeah.
happening, avoiding all the flying
What the
food.
fucking piss, guys?
Mistress Millefander also kind of had the information relayed to her as well, and she kind of
Right.
reiterates to you that you can feed the wing to the cursed or the dying to cure them. You can snap the wing, speak the name of somebody you knew in life to resurrect them, or one of you or multiple of you can bite into the wing and ascend to godhood. But she reminds you, however, as is known, that not all gods got power over life and death. So to become godly does
So you
not
can't- you
mean
can't-
that you would just be able to do
able
all
to
of
do
the
it.
above. No sooner than she says that, you start to all feel a little weary. And you realise all of a sudden that something of you is now being
being
drawn
sapped.
into the wing. Yeah.
We've got to be quick then.
Decision time.
You see some of the soldiers reeling a little
and
bit.
It's my dad. I like.
I lost a wife. What gives you the right
Not
to...
being funny, fuck your wife. It's Merrick or it's the chicken. We've got to make a decision now.
Just so you know, you have about a minute
You've
to
got your
discuss
daughter
this.
back. You can't have both.
And then I want all of you to privately, secretly from one another, write down your character name and then tell me whether you want to bite into the wing alongside your companions, whether you want to do nothing, or whether you want to snatch the wing from your companions.
So not save Venifer, not save Pluckers, Merrig, or Bite.
That's for you to discuss. But you can decide what you want to
But
do.
wait, so sorry, just to clarify, at the end of the minute,
Yep.
we're all going to write, bite the wing together, take the wing, or...
No, you individually, privately,
Yes, yeah,
are going
yeah,
to
no,
write
yes,
down
individually.
whether you want to bite into the wing as agreed with your
Yeah.
companions, if that's what some of you agree to. You can choose to do nothing, or you can try and swipe the wing.
But
so that
save
you
is not
can-
an option.
But what?
Saving someone is not an
Oh,
option.
save
Well,
your
if you
benefit.
have the wing.
So you have to take the wing.
It depends on what you agree on.
So I look to Oscar and I say, I know you lost your dad, but you hadn't seen him. You ran away from home. You left home.
I didn't
you
run
were,
away from
you
home.
were
I didn't run away from
You were
home.
disconnected.
I
You
decided
hated
to
your
strike
father.
at home. I didn't
you
hate
hated
my
your
father.
father a couple of days ago. So why do you get this power? I lost my wife and I love her and I miss her every day.
You made peace with that.
I've
with
never
that.
made peace with that. Don't
I'm
ever
gonna
say
fucking
that.
eat this thing. Just make you two shut up. We've got to make a fucking decision.
Nothing. Just because you've never loved anything, don't give me this. Like, you need to make a decision, okay?
And I punch him. I literally punch him.
Go for it. An arm strike.
Yeah, non-lethal damage, obviously. That's a crit.
What's your strength modifier?
It's -1.
-1.
Yeah.
You heal him? That works. I think it's 1 minimum, isn't it?
Isn't it 1d6?
No, it's
No,
straight
it's
under.
flat. Yeah.
Oh, is it
Flat
flat?
number, yeah. So I think you take 2 damage.
So I smack him and say, now is not time to be a cunt. We've got to make a proper decision, stop being rude to people, and fucking think properly.
Okay. And then I cast deafness on her.
All right.
Right.
And
Jacob,
This is spiraling. Got any more of that beatific peace?
and
Going on.
she has to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Fine. And as I say, as I'm doing this, I'm going to be the big man here. It's a Constitution 16.
Oh, she passes. Fucking.
We've got a minute. We need to decide. This is not the time to be fucking rude to people. And it's mad that I'm saying this because all I ever do is be fucking rude to people. But we've got to decide. So shut up and talk.
It's nothing about rudeness, right? What gives you the right to bring back your dad rather than me to bring back my wife? Give me that option simply now. And if you can't prove that, then none of us should choose that option.
So you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But look, what you're saying is pick one or the other. I'm saying that this man is right here. You've seen him die. Your wife, God rest her soul, died how many years ago?
6 months ago.
6 months ago.
You're over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your wife died 6 months ago. Your daughter is right there.
So you're not looking at the main option that we're looking at, which is the person that's healed us and saved our lives constantly, which is Venifer.
And that's what I was going to say. I agree with you. We saved the chicken.
What Merrick has been here and he's lived a life, but Venifer has saved us on countless occasions and has been at our side throughout this whole, I want to call it adventure, but life that we've been leading for these past 6 months. So, and I say 6 months, it's only been like a couple of weeks, right?
It's been like a week. Things feel like I want to call it an adventure. Let's call it this like series of just amazing events. One after the other.
It's last fortnight.
So unless any of us want to be gods, let's, I would say, save the person that saved us on countless occasions.
I would say I fully acknowledge the fact I'm a prick.
You're feeling weaker, just so you know.
The one person in this circle who actually has a kind heart and a good soul
And a mean right hook.
Jacob.
is Jacob.
Jacob is standing
What do you
nearby,
think?
silently
What do you think?
observing this.
I'm really sorry, Ozzy. I'm really sorry. But we have to save Venifer.
What did I say?
So, I want all of you. I think someone's
Why
got.
don't we just message you on WhatsApp
Yeah, you can do.
individually?
You can do. Just message me on WhatsApp.
Accidentally puts it on the group.
Your options again are you all walk up to the cradle
Yep.
with this floating wing covered in the completed double spice. This wingularity floating there.
I think that was
That's great.
good.
That's
good.
really good. And all of you stand at each like corner of the wing, if that makes sense, and you lean forwards, ready to act. You can either bite into the wing, you can do nothing, or you can snatch the wing for yourself. And
So bite in the... Sorry to interrupt. Bite into the wing means that we become gods.
right,
Yeah.
Do nothing means that we decide amongst ourselves again.
And maybe
And run, we make a run for it.
yeah. And if you bite into the wing, basically, if you're going to bite into the wing and ascend on your own, that's a snatch. But if you're saying that you want to bite into the wing, then that means that if anybody else wants to bite into the wing, you will collectively bite into the wing and ascend together. If you're going for a snatch, it's if any of you choose to do that. If it's only one person, they just do it.
Yeah.
If there are more than one person who want to snatch it,
Contested.
then it's going to be like an initiative
This
roll,
is
like
like
sleight
a
of hand.
prisoner's dilemma, so, isn't
Yeah.
it?
So we bite, we snatch, we talk again.
Yeah, you either bite together is what you're selecting. You
Yeah.
can choose to snatch it for yourself
Yeah.
and bite into it, or give it to someone, or snap it and resurrect somebody.
Yeah.
Or you can do nothing.
And nothing is effectively talking again.
Nothing. Wait, what?
Doing
So the doing nothing option
Yeah.
is going back to discuss again.
what it means that
Doing nothing is you give a decision to the rest.
yeah,
I mean, effectively, yes.
You're
You would just be-
absconding. You're
Yeah.
absconding.
I'm just going to do nothing. If that's what everybody does, then you'll be discussing again, I guess.
we've cooperated in that.
It's a little bit like, what's the game where you decide whether to steal or split? That's what it is. That's what inspired
It's
this.
prisoner's dilemma.
There you go. I have the answer. The four of you approach the cradle, and you see the completed devil spice. And a whole range of emotions and memories rush through your minds of the past couple of days that you've spent together. Nothing true to her name stands idly by. What are you doing here? Like folding your arms or
Yeah,
something, or just standing back?
I know what I want to do, but in the end, people have more skin in the game than I do here, and I don't want to stand in the way of what's true to people. So in a very un-nothing move, you could say she's grown a little. She decides to stand back.
Simultaneously, Cassius also does nothing.
Cassius pulls out the locket of Corin and just looks at it and says, "There's still much to do." And closes it and puts it back into his jacket and waits.
Jacob also does nothing.
I look at Pluckers and just ruffle the feathers on her head and just look at the three of you and smile at all of you.
Osgaren snatches the wing.
And I bite it, and I shout, "I'll save us all!"
Osgaren is suddenly filled with light, but also this sort of like dark fire wreaths around him. Starts screaming. He begins like clawing at his sort of face and body wildly. And no sooner than that happens, the rest of you see him disappear. Osgaren, a searing pain engulfs you from the mouth emanating outwards and then is gone. And suddenly you are everything. And you are everywhere. You can see your birth and death simultaneously. You can see all other living things across the entirety of their lives, across the entirety of all of the multiverses. You're aware of the other gods' existence conceptually, and they will greet you at once, which takes several millennia. And you are aware that in ascending, you may bend or change one single aspect of the multiverse at some point in time to your will. If you so wish.
Fuck.
This can be water now only boils at 200. This can be clouds are underneath us now.
Yeah.
Faerun United won the treble in 704.
Get on!
Or you can significantly change or alter a single thing at any point in time. Boom means take a moment, and I will cut out the Tom thinking noise.
It's a monkey and cymbals.
Fuck. This is good.
It's very good. It's very, very good.
I'd love it if you just do something completely bullshit.
Turns out it's actually no number 4 anymore. It just goes straight to 5. It's very strange, but everybody accepts it.
The ground floor is now called the first floor in all buildings.
And this is like a right bestowed upon like every deity. When all of the divine became the divine, they were all given. It's sort of like
So the welcome gift.
it's natural law giving you a wink.
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
change or affect one aspect.
Of the multiverse.
Yeah,
So I can go back and change an event, a thing.
Yeah, if you want to.
yeah.
or change a rule.
A rule, yeah.
A rule in D&D or a rule in life?
Whatever Tom wants to do. D20s don't exist anymore.
Roll a D4? But I don't know what that means.
For D4, yeah, can change anything. Tom has a good conceptual mind for this as well.
Yeah. If you'd have given it to me, I'd be like,
He's gonna say
all aboard the
something-
banter bus, I'd do something stupid or something that I hadn't
Gonna
thought
say
through.
something fucking crazy.
Fuck.
You're the god, mate.
You're the god.
Whatever you intend to happen is what's going to
Okay.
happen. So if you want to, yeah, but it has to.
So, what
Tom's made a decision.
Osgaren
Took
thinks
long enough.
will happen is that. What was the like the fourth or fifth ingredient that was on our list? Have you got like the whole list?
Yes.
At some point, and like the sort of fourth or fifth.
It was the leaf of a manator.
Halfway down in the notebook. What was like halfway down? The
You
list?
have got. Do you want to see the list? Like it's just here.
Yeah, go on. Halfway down the list.
There you go.
8 total. 9 total.
8
Okay,
total.
so around like
Plus
the
the
feather of the
feather.
golden eagle. So, I would like to change this recipe such that it works as intended until the feather of a golden eagle is added to it. At which point, the whole thing turns out to just not work, and actually, it isn't. It's not a recipe. This is not a recipe. This is just like some weird alchemical coincidence, and it doesn't work fundamentally. So in my head, in Osgerin's headcanon, because he wants the best outcome for everybody, he's like, everybody can live. Maybe not. Oh no, wait, oh fuck, I forgot Cassius's wife.
Do you want to have another think?
Yeah, I do want to have another thing.
Start the recording?
How did your wife die?
Bandits, green masked bandits, probably because of the classic Goblin Baguette incident that I solved. Case that I solved,
And when did your daughter when did X put your daughter in when did that happen?
So, green flash, and my daughter was gone. And then all the next thing I knew was, like, her body wasn't there, but my wife's body was. And the next thing I knew was about my daughter was her being in a crystal with X.
If I make like a change, will I remain cognizant of what I've done?
Depends on the change.
Oh, son of a bitch.
That's just an outcome that you'll have to wait on.
Yeah. Like. Oh fucking hell.
Everyone's same sex?
No gender.
I would say
Gender's
this:
very-
there is a death of the mortal and a creation of the immortal. So I'd say there's a duality there.
Yeah. But like,
Once a god is, you can't.
I don't ask too many questions because I feel like it's not in the spirit of this thing.
But it will be in good faith.
Just do what you want to do. Don't try and fix everything. Just go for it. Go for the original idea.
No, because the whole point, the last thing Osgaren said was that I can save us all. And then this newborn messiah complex needs to be played out, if that's what he wanted to do. And he had an infinite amount of time to work it out.
He's made a promise that his deity can't.
He's got out his godly whiteboard.
Then he would probably, there's like frantic scribblings. There's little bits of string with pins in it.
You're like is it the Always Sunny?
Yeah,
Yes.
just like, yeah.
On the first day.
He's just Doctor Strange sitting there for eternity trying to figure out that...
Exactly. Dormammu have come to bargain, just like...
Exactly. You have eternity, by which I mean you're the only one with light trying to catch.
Yeah, I know. Slash, you have 7 minutes. Motherfucker.
Gonna need to push you for an answer here, Tom.
When did Jenny Bleth meet X? DM?
You know that. Because you've seen all things.
Right, so when did they meet?
And you know, first of all, that Merrick Tanan absolutely was your father.
Oh.
Because you witness and experience every space in all the multiverse, and so you did indeed see every, see every nook, cranny, and slap of that conception. You know Merrick.
I'm gonna make you my bagpipe.
Cutting that. But Jenny Bleth met the Wizard X when she left the Wingman family. She wanted to get out on her own because Jan Jakob Tingelhammer was her father, Venifer was her brother, and the two of them, under this like domineering presence of Jan Jakob Tingelhammer, wanted to do their own thing. Venifer effectively became a sort of liberal man of the people hippie. He just wanted to do right by the world, meet nice people, travel, set up a chicken wing stand. He then took inevitably an interest in the occult. I went on to the Double Spice thing. She also did her own thing, and she was a bit of a socialite. She was a bit of a noble woman about town. But then she understood the meaning and the perfection that is true power And so she saw in the underworld this sort of seedy goings on of a dark magician by the name of Extra Chili is his full name. And almost as soon as they met, they became lovers. And he, covered her in finery, he imbued her with power, and he stood by her side while she basically slept and married her way into power by marrying the
John Damaclabeth.
Yeah, John Damaclabeth.
That is an unnecessary bit of knowledge in my brain.
That's what I remember, John Damaclabeth.
Yeah.
And so there was no love there, but there was power there, there was control, there was influence, and her ultimate aspiration was to take over the world. So they've been consorts, sexual and also kind of partners in power for, almost as soon as Oscar had been conceived.
Yeah. I think...
She gave birth, she ran away, within 2 or 3 years they met.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, fuck's sake. I think maybe I want to make Lady Jennifer Blyth more maternal so that she doesn't abandon me.
Okay.
So that she... Oh, no. Oh, I fucking hate this. Why did I do this?
Hey, you wanted the responsibility.
Yeah, I did.
Man.
I did. I'm so sorry.
You can't just fly into that wing with no consequence.
Oh no, amen. Amen. This is consequence. I just don't think it's very interesting.
You want to be a god?
for the other
Sweet,
4
you're a
people
god.
in the room.
Be a god.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, fine. The scorched earth this. I think Osgarin will... The wing recipe will never have existed. I think.
Destroy the power.
Destroy the power, and this won't have happened. Well, this, any other number of things might have happened. This won't have happened because if there's no sacred idea of the holy wing, or there's no evidence of, if we put these two things together, shit, maybe this legend is true, then Venifer won't pull us all together, or he might for something else, but he won't put us together in search of this. I might have been abandoned by Jennifer Blyth, but Jennifer Blyth won't be searching for this godly power because it won't exist, and it won't have been a legend because it won't have ever existed or be fabled. Therefore, she won't fall in with X. X won't steal your daughter away in a green flash. My dad won't die. But then, oh God! But what about nothing? And what about Jacob?
Oh, she doesn't care.
Yeah, no, she doesn't. Fuck me. Yeah, fine.
Although she would be sad
The
not to
wing,
have the adventure.
the
and be living in the sewer.
the devil spice, El Polo Diablo, or whatever we called it,
Yeah.
never existed.
Oh.
That fable. Well, the reality of it is, it's not a thing. They're just ingredients.
So there's no benefits for
There is no benefit.
for every like spice rub, or there's no.
I mean,
magic
sure,
wing?
a cockatrice breath might have, maybe like Chinese traditional medicine gives you a boner or something. I don't know. Fuck.
Then
Or maybe the halflings believe that. I don't know.
wifey'd still be dead though, wouldn't she?
You said you could save her.
Maybe ignorance is part of it, because I would maybe never have met Cassius and then this wouldn't be on my mind. And this is like taking the pill, like, you'll forget everything. Maybe I just want to forget.
Oh, you're a god now. You're going to remember everything forever.
I'll tell you exactly what happened.
Never existed.
Fuck. This is
Thunderbolts. Sound of a VHS spinning around. Record going backwards. The devil spice never existed. Starting with Jacob, or rather the Marshall family. Old Jan Jakob Tingelhammer, if you remember and you knew this as a god, he sought ultimate power and decided to dabble with the unholy rudiments of this legend of the spice mix. But in not existing, he was obviously still inherently a wrong'un, and so he took to banditry and another life. But that meant that Lord Marshall never sought the kind of interest
and power and dominion and control that the Chicken Consortium was able to provide via his leadership. And so Lord Marshall and Lady Marshall were utterly focused from the moment they met and married as family people. And they certainly spent an awful lot more time with William, who is known for his charitable works across the land, and also with Jacob. And they very, very much enjoyed and encouraged his leaning towards the faith of Tyr, and also scream from the box seats every time he gets another kill in the arena. Utterly supportive of his lifestyle. And of course, it didn't even occur to them to give away their daughter. And so, though born a tiefling, which to some might be a slight, such were their family values that they accepted nothing unequivocally and with absolute love and adoration. And she grew up knowing more love than any daughter could hope for in all the land. Jan Jakob Tinglehammer, on the other hand, I mean, geez, what a wrong un. He went into the banditry, he soaked up all the wrong uns in the land, and ultimately he led a bit of a judicial death. He was put to death, he was hung, he was drawn, he was quartered. But that, of course, meant that the bandits in Baldur's Gate, I mean, they didn't have anything to do with the sortie that ended Cassius's wife's life, and of course, the wizard, never got his hands on Cassius's daughter, and so Cassius, Mrs. Cassius, Mrs. Missara, and also their daughter. What were their names again?
Z and Corin.
Z and Corin.
Yeah.
Still live happily to this day.
In that white picket fence on the on the borderlands of Baldur's Gate.
And Cassius, supported by the love of his family and focusing very much on her career, is the head of the Baldur's Gate PD.
Yes.
It is.
A story.
I want your badge and your gun. You're done. You get to say that now.
A storied
Get
warlock.
out of here.
The twins, Jennifer Wingman and Jennifer Wingman, were still absolutely made. By that point, Jennifer, he runs a very successful chicken wing franchise called Dragon Wings.
Dragon Wangs. It's such a lifestyle.
Jennifer, with no other lust or searching for an adequate power, instead found the power and the support of a loving husband. And she found true love in old Merrick Tanan, a simple pub owner of Alice's Rest in Cormier. And together, hand in hand, they raised Osgaren. And also Osgaren's younger brothers and sisters, who were born afterwards, who lead a very happy existence.
What were their names?
Yeah. What were their names?
Their names were
Dimitri?
Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Big Kevin Pacey Susan are the godparents.
Yes.
Of course they are.
Oh God.
But all the while, the godly Osgaren, a total separate entity, immortal, unending, the mortal Osgaren who now lives in the timeline in the multiverse and lives a happy life, has no notional concept of the deity. But you're still there, deity Osgaren, experiencing, knowing everything that you did, but with a different godly perspective.
Is deity of Osgaren known in like the now?
Oh yeah,
known world? So people worship the god Osgaren?
yeah. You haven't heard of
Yes.
Osgaren?
Oh,
What's he the god of?
Bahamut, Tyr, Osgaren.
lovely.
What is Osgaren the god of?
Yes.
He's a god. He's a god that people pray to whenever they make a snap decision on a wing and a prayer. They often offer a little epithet to the god Osgaren in the hopes that their decision will pay off right.
Love that.
So it's like
God.
50-50.
No, like the god of doing things with the right intention.
Yeah.
The god of good intent. He's a god of good intentions. Irrational good intentions.
Good intentions and snap decisions.
Not
Yeah.
much planning, good intentions.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fuck it, we'll do it live god. Yeah.
You, in a godly way, in an uncorporeal way, corporeal way, you smile benevolently and let a little shooting star fly across the sky as you see Osgaren and Merrick firing up their bagpipes and lute, respectively, for another refrain of
The Lusty Wench.
The Lusty Wench.
Yes.
And we'll end that.
Oh my god, I'm getting teary eyed. Oh my got emotional.
Epic.
Epic. That was lovely.
That was awesome,
Oh,
dude.
it's so good. I love that.
I don't even know
Then
what
you
that means.
offered a prayer to Oscarin and
Yes.
did it live.
Yeah.
Dragon wing.